want to tell you 3 helpful questions that I find helpful when I remember to ask them of myself. Hi, I'm Angel, by the way. Thanks for stopping by. I struggle with self-doubt and loathing sometimes, and so I'm collecting tools through this lifetime in order to help me navigate those moments of weakness better. And one of those tools that I found very helpful is questions. Like, instead of anytime my mind gets caught on like an always, never kind of track, that's usually a very limited way of thinking, and it's usually not serving me very well. So if I can, when I recognize, I have some buzzwords kind of mentally that I try to notice if I'm thinking in that way. Words like always, never, at least. Those are all, there's exceptions to every rule, but those are almost always used in limiting beliefs, statements, limiting statements. And so instead, one of my very favorite questions to ask is, what's trying to emerge here? So instead of going like, oh, this is terrible, or casting judgment on it, or thinking this is awful and I can't live with it, thinking, what's trying to come out of this? What's trying to emerge? Because always, especially when things aren't going quite the way we thought they were going to, or we hoped they were going to, I think there's always great opportunity in there for growth, and there's usually something trying to emerge. A lot of times we're being in denial about something, and I think we trick ourselves often into bringing ourselves what we need in various ways. And so pausing when I catch myself in that negative frame and asking what's trying to emerge can be very helpful. Another question that I really love to ask is, what do I really want? Because I think it's easy to get hung up on what I don't have, what I don't want, what I think I'm getting, instead of just thinking about what do I want, which can be actually frustrating in and of itself if you're not sure. I know that frustration well. However, it's less limiting and more free feeling than feeling I can't get what I want, or I didn't get what I wanted, because life is ongoing. So whatever I didn't get last second isn't necessarily dictating what I want next second. And a lot of times we don't get what we want because we're not clear, or we're sending conflicting messages to ourselves and to the universe. So I think getting really clear on what we want can really help us get it, basically. And I would encourage you to go a step deeper than just like things you want, and think about what's the emotions that you want, what's the experience you want, what's the feeling you want, because there's more than one way to get any given feeling or experience. And so if you don't get too attached to the how, and instead focus on the why or the what, foundationally, then I think you have a better chance of getting what you want. And then question number 3 that I love to ask is, what would love do? Because if I'm feeling like, a lot of times I catch myself in a blame, shame kind of dialogue in my mind, either blaming someone else or shaming myself, feeling unworthy or inadequate. And if I can remember to ask myself, what would love do? That usually shifts me over to a more growth mindset, a more positive state, because love forgives, love is kind, love is generous, love is understanding, love is patient, all those good things that most of us want lots of. So yeah, that's my thought about that. Again, 3 helpful questions. That is, what's trying to emerge here? What would love do? And what do I really want? I'm not sure if this is my exit. I can't tell because I'm being blocked by a giant truck. Anyway, I hope you're loving what you do and doing what you love and asking yourself good questions. If you have any favorite questions, please add them to the comments. I really am collecting tools that are helpful, and so I'm sure some of you have some good questions that you ask yourself, maybe to snap yourself out of a negative mindset, or maybe you ask other people to help them snap out of a mindset. If you would share those, I sure would appreciate it. as always, there's other ways to connect with me and support me, and lots of those are linked to in the description. I wish you good questions, love and laughter, peace, progress, lightheartedness, potential. Don't forget to play every day.